All right, and welcome back to Recruited Talkbacks. Today we're talking about episode 3. Again, we have director and co-producer Ray Mercury. We have actor Mehrdad Sarlek, who plays Lambert. Myself, Carolyn Carpenter, a writer, co-producer, and actor.
Yes.
And Heath Null, United States Marine Corps, also my husband, whose experience as a Marine Corps recruiter inspired us to do recruitments.
And was also our military consultant.
That is right.
Sure.
An amazing one.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Everyone wears a lot of hats on this set. So
Yes.
trying to remember everyone's long list of credits.
But that was a key thing though, was even though again we had Army, we had Navy, we had we had Marines on set. I think we had one Air Force.
Do you have Coast Guard?
We did not have Coast Guard,
Well,
and
it's actually
so close.
Yeah.
There's going to be a behind the scenes
that's season
footage
2.
of that.
That's
Yes.
season 2
Well,
knockoff.
He did say this is military, though.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go.
I knew somebody was going to say
gotta
that.
say
Leave
it.
it to the Marine.
But since we were honing in on the Marine Corps, Heath was definitely our
Yes,
go-to.
he was, and a fantastic one
Yes, awesome.
So to kick off the conversation about episode 3, Mehrdad, tell us a little bit about what that was like to watch from a civilian point of view, since it kind of talks a lot about civilians starting to interact with the military.
I think, for me, one of the fun and exciting challenges, aside from the fact that anytime you guys want to work with me, I'm like there, seriously, and you know that.
Self-pitching here.
No, but we've been family and friends for over a decade, so
Yes,
I
yes.
will always show up for your projects. But one of the things about this that excited me so much was I knew nothing about it. I knew nothing about the recruiting world. I didn't even really understand that that's what, you taught me a lot on set, Heath. You're like, well, you can either do embassy duty, and by the way, I've educated a lot of people thanks to you. It's like, let me tell you what Marines can do. They can either do embassy duty or they can do recruiting duty. And it's amazing to me as I'm watching this episode and I'm seeing this play out, events that are inspired by real life. How much of your time is wasted as a recruiter? Like, you get these people, it's kind of like online dating. They're like, oh, I'm a supermodel, and I'm 26, and they show up and they're like 95, and they weigh a little more than 190 pounds. And it's like, the tennis headband is not going to help you be athletic, friend. Like, that's not going to get you there. So I was just struck by how much of that you guys have to deal with, and, people just kind of probably drive you around a lot.
They do. And like a lot of people don't realize is not anybody can join the military, especially the Marines. It's the most selective. We have a long list of things that you have to do to qualify for it. Certain things can change, like the guy's weight. Yes, you're overweight. You can lose weight, but things you can't change is like your age, criminal background, things like that. Also, it happens.
Right.
As much
Drug
as
testing.
Drug testing is like a lot of people hate recruiting. I did. But one of the most entertaining things is when you go to the mailbox and you get these letters from prison. It's like, I'm a convicted third-degree murder or first-degree murderer. I've murdered like
Seriously?
5 people.
What?
Yes.
Are you joking?
And it's like, oh no, we get them all the time. The prison letters are so entertaining.
And you can't take them because they have a criminal record.
Well, yeah, you can't take them. And they're like, the judge will let me out if I'll join the Marine Corps. You just like, that one's going on the wall.
The judge doesn't know. Okay, so
Oh no, the judge knows because that's illegal for them to do. They just tell them that,
Oh,
so
I
they're like,
see.
get their hopes up or something. I don't know, but I mean,
You know what I love about this? You guys have like 10 seasons worth of material. You know how I
Oh,
know
yeah.
this? No, you know how I know this? His wife is learning things. After years of dealing, she's still like, I didn't know that. So that tells you
knows
how
about it. She just forgot about it. 'Cause it's so much.
There's so much.
There's
Yeah,
so
that's my
much.
point. There's a lot of
There is.
material.
An interesting thing to throw in here is, speaking of military requirements, the tattoos. If you watch
What's the
some
deal
of
there?
our,
Yeah.
we're gonna pepper in some behind the scenes clips and stuff in our Facebook and Instagram, and you're gonna see these makeup ladies going through a hell of a time
Covering up
tattoos. And if you're one of those people that likes to watch films or television and see where the inconsistencies are, watch forearms, because sometimes a guy's got a tattoo and then
sometimes he
the next
doesn't.
scene, there's no tattoo. So tell us a little bit about the
Magic
tattoo
tattoos.
requirements.
Where'd I go?
Yeah, tattoos is a huge thing, and policies change on the tattoos. Like when we had a guy in our recruiting office, he had a full sleeve tattoo. And
Which he obviously got after the Marine Corps.
no, he had it while he was in,
Oh.
and then they changed the Marine Corps policies. Like, you can no longer have a full sleeve tattoo. Well, this guy's already a
What are
Marine,
you
so
gonna
what do you
do?
do? he gets grandfather clause in. It's noted in his military record. Hey, he's got a tattoo, and he's good. Then a kid comes in and
Sees that.
has a tattoo, and this guy's like, "Sorry, man, you can't join because you have a full sleeve tattoo." And he's like looking at that sleeve, and he's like, "Wait a minute." And then you try to explain Marine Corps orders to him, and like that doesn't make sense to people, and you're like, "Well,
So
sorry,
what is
man."
the rule?
Honestly,
Today.
I think
Today,
it's
what's the
recent-
current rule?
Don't hold me to this. I think it's recently changed, but
When you were
when I was recruiting, if you can cover it with your hand, just like that, you're good. There's no armband. If you have a band,
Can we see yours?
yeah, like this.
No, you can cover
like,
it.
I can cover it. I'm good.
Yeah.
Like I know it's like people used to have the barbed wire tattoos.
Yeah.
If it goes all the way
You
around
can't get
and
it.
touches, you can't join. It can only be like a 1/4 inch thick.
Interesting.
If it's 2 inches from the wrist, if you bend your wrist like that, that break 2 inches from that. Nothing on the neck, the head, behind the ears.
Mike Tyson's not joining the Marines.
No, not at all.
You know, it's funny
But-
you say that because actually,
You have a story.
I
Yeah,
have a
I was gonna
story.
say, I was trying to read
Range-
into this.
So back in the day when I was in the military, I actually got into the military, believe it or not, and I do have proof and pictures of this, and maybe we'll show
yes, he
it.
does. I've seen it
I
on
used to
social
have
media.
a tattoo on my face that was right here when I got enlisted. And I won't really discuss as to what it was and why it was there, but the point was that I had a tattoo on my face. And when I was in the military, everybody didn't know how the hell I got in. Everybody, and when I was in boot camp in the Navy, I ended up, for those of you who are Navy, I was the RPOC of my division. So most of you who are Navy will know. And I was from start to finish. So I was actually promoted in boot camp I went in as E2 because I had a little bit of college. And then I went in and I graduated as an E3. And so everywhere I went, everybody was telling me, you know, RPOC, hold your division. And they were like, hey, Bob, hey, Billy, hey, Jamie, come on over here. Look at this guy. He's got a tattoo on his face. Look at this. What is that on your face? What is that on your face? Yeah, and I had to just, and I always, every time I halted my division, I would say, you know, division, halt. And then you would hear 90 guys just go, because they all knew what it was about. And so every year I would get in, I would always have to go to medical. One of the doctors or one of the officers who was, you know, the physician would always say, you know, why don't we remove that? And my answer was always, no, I'm not going to remove it. And I think I did it more so because they were trying to force me to remove it. But as you said, I was given a waiver. They don't know how I was given a waiver.
Do you know how you were?
I don't even know how I was given a waiver.
So
Somehow
basically, it is not known information.
No, I really don't. But
Fair
I got
enough.
in, and then just before I got out, I did have it removed. You know, I wised up. I realized, you know,
So that's not makeup.
it's not
For
makeup.
the last 12
it's
years,
completely
you haven't
gone.
made yourself up
Yeah,
every
it's
time
gone.
I've seen you.
So,
Thank God.
That's long story short. So I did get away with it, but yeah, I definitely would not have gotten away with it today.
That's crazy.
Let's talk a little bit, Rain, about some of the casting and actors that we worked with in this episode. Let's talk about Daniel Nordling, who
So,
played Albert.
Albert. He was
great guy.
Yes, Daniel Nording. He was an amazing guy. He still is an amazing guy. He's still with us.
He's still with us. Sorry.
he's still here. So if
Acting
you're watching
is
Daniel,
really
thank
dangerous.
you.
Sometimes you make it. Sometimes you don't.
Daniel was actually one of the people I actually personally talked to on the phone with, and from the VME. I reached out to the VME. I said, listen, I really want.
Tell the viewers what the VME is.
The VME
Yeah.
again is, thank you for answering that. It's the Veterans in Media and Entertainment. And these are a group of videographers and editors, anybody who wants to be in production on one side of the fence, behind the lens, and also actors who want to be in front of the lens. And I reached out, and this is actually when the VME was really starting to kind of harness their tools, changing their website, kind of gathering up everybody, and really the ranks are growing. So he just came down and he fit the part just as soon as I looked at him. When we read the script, I was talking to you about it. What are we looking at? What do we want to try to do? Daniel just came in, and his personality was amazing. He fit the part. He also is former Navy, so we definitely were old salty dogs. I think we have a little bit behind the scenes where we're talking about that.
That's cool.
And he was just, very easy to work with, and it was really great to kind of see him kind of sort of reliving an experience of, he went through the recruiting process too. And actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think he did kind of reach out to all of them, but, it fell more into the Navy. And so it was really great to kind of see him and have him,
Now, we do kind of poke fun at him in the episode, though, and I want to make sure that that our audience understands. In portraying this situation, we're in no way trying to like fat shame
No.
or age shame anybody, but just portray a situation that, correct me if I'm wrong, Heath, very commonly occurs in recruiting.
It does. People are just like, you know what, I want to join, and they call up and like, well, you got to make these certain standards. Yeah, I make the standards, and they show up in the office and they don't. And it's like,
Yeah.
man, it's like I can't change your age. I have to prove to see your birth
Right.
certificate.
Yeah.
Now, how
Right.
much conversation did you have with Daniel in advance of this episode? Was he okay with the type of character?
Oh,
was
he
gonna
definitely.
play?
So, I have to say, Daniel came forward and he really answered the call. He was completely, open to it. He understood exactly what the character was portraying. He took into account everything that was going on. I really did want to explain what was happening, and so he was totally fine with everything. He understood we were not poking fun at overweight people of any kind. It was more to portray that people say what they are, and when they walk in, they're not really that. And so, and he couldn't wait to do it. He was actually really, really excited to do this this scene, and clearly you see behind the scenes and some of the bloopers, he had a great time on set. So
Great. Well, thank you all for watching Recruited episode 3. Stay tuned. In a few days, we'll be releasing episode 4 right here on Recruited TV on YouTube. And if you have any questions about episode 3 that you'd like to ask the 4 of us, please go ahead, put them in the chat below, and we'll respond. Thank you all, and stay tuned.